Hello, I'm Mige. I'm going to do a quick overview of Smite, or Clash mode for Smite. I am with Arccanius, who is going to be assisting me at times. First overview, let's talk about relics. Relics depend mainly on... I'm going to go towards trans. What class you are. If you're an assassin, Rangdas is always really good. Having extra mobility, extra cooldowns, and if you get it fully stacked, you can get it stacked as early as like 5 minutes into the game. We'll get more in others. Now, first thing is, a lot of people think, oh hey, do a team fight here. Red is not worth it. Red is not worth it. It is mainly red split between 5 people is pretty much garbage. The main point of red is it's a team fight, so you're mainly trying to poke them out, force someone to base, force them to use their relics, or get a kill. The buff itself is useless. A much more efficient start is to have 2 people go over here and do this side blue. This will mean you're splitting 1 wave, and then 3 people will go in the middle. And then when the point of the 3 people in the middle is you're not trying to fight. You're just trying to safely take the blue buff. Or safely try and steal the red. If you don't, okay. Immediately after the red battle is over, the 3 people that are over here, these minions are pushing up for reasons, clear this wave, and then come over and immediately do this buff. Go do this buff. The advantage of this is they're going to have 2 buffs from red and blue. You're going to have 3 buff control, which is a lot more experience, which means you're going to probably hit level 5 before they do. And the most efficient would be, okay, the people here, they should do their wave here. Maybe a second wave if need be. Then the 2 people here should go with blue, with maybe 1 person from the other lane. This way they're going to probably hit level 5. I'm hitting it a lot faster because I'm solo farming. All the experience is going just to me. Now, when you're in the laning phase, there's 3 main roles you want to do. Each lane is going to have 2 of these. First one, you're going to have a lane clearer. They're on minion duty, so you're going to want either a mage or a hunter. Their job is to focus only on getting the minions. The second person is going to be a poke. Either poke or peel. Their job is either protect the minion duty or potentially do some damage to the enemy gods or rotate. The 5th person is going to be a flex. This one's generally going to be either a warrior or a guardian. And their whole job is to just keep rotating back and forth and try and make something happen. Now there's 3 spots on there to think about. You always have to keep in mind. Or it's before you even do that, I guess. You should always... Oh, hi. That's actually sort of a thing where it's like, here's the neutral spot when you're clearing wave. You can get snuck up on. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. That's why most of the time when people are clearing, they'll clear wave and then they'll go back down here. But you want to find your counterpart on the other side. So right now, Arccanius is being the lane clear on his lane. I am the lane clear on mine. So I want to know where he is at all times. If he goes to rotate, I need to decide, do I need to rotate too? So if he goes over here, I should probably go over to the other lane too. This particular case, not as much important. If you're the lane clear, if they base, then that's a really good time to try and make something happen. Because that means one side is now a man short. So you can try and do a 5v4 that. If you are the poke person, you are definitely wanting to keep track. If you're the lane clearer, okay, if they just base, just clear lane. You don't need to worry about rotating, just clear lane as much as possible. If you're the poke, and it's also if you're a lane clear, you're going to be basically here or back down here. Here to clean lane. And then you're just going to back to now. I am an assassin, so I can't clear that quickly. Or that safely. And so you just go, and then you go back to lane. The poker, you're going to be more on the inner track for this line, because you want to potentially be able to rotate. And you're going to basically go rotate, you can go there. The flex person is pretty much going to stay on this ring right here. You might go a little bit more up here. But he's going to mainly just stay in the mid. And he's going to basically be wherever he thinks he can get something done. To do pressure in one lane. If someone needs to back, his job is to go and back for them. Or cover their lane while they're backing, so it's still two people in that lane. I'm going to go ahead and base.
Sharpen the blade to an enemy.
Now, after your first base, you should always grab some wards. Always. At least one ward. Because you want to know where people are rotating. There are 3 really good spots for warding. For the first 10 minutes of the game, right here on top of the red buff. Right here is where you'd want the ward. Around 8-minute mark, you want to put it about right here. Reason why, if you put it in the middle, Apophis will kill whatever is in the middle. Apophis will not kill what is right here. The next best location is up in their jungle, right about here. This way, you can see, okay, are they rotating? If they're going from one lane to another, you can tell. If they're going from their mid to lane, you can tell. If they're basing, you can tell. Similarly, the alternative location in your jungle, this is the 3rd best spot to jungle. If they are rotating in your jungle, you will know about it. Alternative sites are over here. This way you know if they are in that sort of blind spot. And same on the other side. Late game wards might change a bit because you might want to play a little bit more aggressive. Ward closer here or down here if you're behind. But mainly in the beginning it's like, okay, keep these warded. Because I haven't killed my ward. I think it's killed my ward. You generally don't need a sentry ward unless you know they are warding. In which case, yeah, start sentry warding it. Beginning of the game is mainly, okay, try and find as much time to try and farm as much as possible, try and get their blue as much, this side blue as much as possible, try and get your side blue as much as possible. Red is definitely very important. Red will come up a lot more often. However, at 8-minute mark, at the 10-minute mark, you want to get Apophis will spawn. And when Apophis spawns, you want to make sure you are not in mid. However, once Apophis spawns, you can pretty much know our mid the rest of the game. Because Apophis is good, it's just never really worth it to go for mid. I can not think of a single instance where someone has gone after Apophis, and because they went after Apophis, they won. Generally, if you can, you always want to get the Titan first. Also, you want to get the Phoenixes, or you can get the Tower. And you never want to go for Apophis if their full team is up, unless you have really deep wards. And you know you can keep them from taking it. There are currently only 3 times when I can think of offhand where going for Apophis is a good idea. First, you want a team fight, you pushed as much, you got as many objectives as you have time to do. They can't, but you don't have enough time to take any other objectives because they're about to come back up. So, okay, back off, go for Apophis, and then base. Get ready for the team fight to try and take more objectives. Second situation, they are turtling under the Phoenixes. If they're turtling under the towers, that's not good enough. They have to be turtling under the Phoenixes. If they're turtling under the Phoenixes, ward up, and then go for it. The third situation is you are sieging the Phoenixes. Again, if their towers are still up, Apophis is not worth it. If they're Phoenixes, you have your Hunter is just coming out of base, either from having to base or they just got back from being dead, then your Hunter can do it while everyone else is basically pushed up sieging the Phoenixes. Those are the only 3 times to go after Apophis. Apophis is a nice buff, but in general, it's only there to help you win the next team fight to get an objective. If you already have won the team fight, you should be going for an objective. Anyway, now that we have time, most of that, let's go back to starter items and then we'll end. I know I probably should have done that. Assassins, Rengas, really, really good. Gives you a lot of extra ability stuff, and you can generally get it pretty quickly. Else, if you really need to, Mark of the Vanguard or Lanos. Though, generally just Rengas. Bluestone, no. Of all the times I've tried Bluestone, it just never felt useful. Whenever I got Rengas, it always just felt like my build was behind. Or whenever I got Bluestone, yeah, I'd have a little bit more damage, but it always just feel like my build was always a little bit behind. That if only I had a little bit further in my build, I'd be able to either survive or get the kill. It's not worth it on Assassins. Is only worth it, not really even worth it on us Hunters either. Mages, you want Sands of Time or Soulstone. Sands of Time will help you a lot on clear or mana sustain, which will allow you to stay in the lane a lot longer. Soulstone will give you better clear. For which one? Sands of Time or Bluestone? Bluestone? Yeah. There's very few gods that are assassins. Generally, you don't want to ever build bluestone. It's not worth it. It's a good relic normally. It's just not in this mode. You're better off getting your build up. Mages, Sands of Time, good for cooldowns. Mana Sustain, which will lead you can stay in lane. Soulstone will give you better clear, so you don't have to use any abilities. Hunters, Death's Toll is really, really good. You are generally going to be the lane clearer. Bluestone, if you need the clear, generally not supported because you are again putting yourself 800 gold behind your build for a little bit extra clear, which you will probably be able to do well enough by just having the other person with you clear. Warriors. Pretty much everything but Bumbas. It is okay on a warrior. Well, probably not Death's Toll either. But pretty much everything but Bumbas and Death's Toll is good on a warrior. They are really good with Bluestone because a warrior's damage is more dependent on their level rather than their items. So having a bit more extra damage from Bluestone, really good. And they don't care as much about being a little bit behind in their items. Guardians, you want generally Rangdas. Rangdas is also really good on Warriors, so really good Warrior start is Rangdas into Bluestone, into some pots. Guardians, you want Rangdas, you want generally Watchers, and maybe Mark of the Vanguard, and that's about it. Anything you can think of that I should probably add? Oh yeah, the passive thing. There's 3 main spots you're going to do. Most time when clearing, you're going to basically sit back here, come forward, clear lane, then come back over here. This is the sort of neutral stance. When you're going to clear lane, you are actually blind to this area back here. Which means if they're thinking about it, they could actually just stand like right here. If Arccanius stood right here, I probably couldn't see him from a neutral stance. In which case, as soon as I go to clear lane, he can just sneak up around behind me and then attack me. Aggressive stance is past this line, in which case I'm trying to bait a fight or push you under tower. However, the disadvantage of this is if I'm up here, I cannot really see people from ganking. So if you see someone on the other lane that's past this line, that's a good time to call for an invasion. Or to go a rotation. That's a lot of minions. If they are behind, if they're that far back, and they're basically, you can generally push them in. But again, if I'm really trying to push, if I am really aggressive, my outs are I can either go here or I can run back to lane. But if you come from middle, I am pretty much dead. Yeah. As he said, think about how your comp compares to them. Are you an aggressive comp? If they have like a lot of warriors and guardians, expect them to be very aggressive. So you're probably, if they have like a lot of warriors and guardians, do not ever cross this line during the laning phase. Do not ever cross this line during the laning phase. And definitely ward up, because you want to know where they're going as much as possible. For comps, you don't need 2 or 3 tanks. Generally, 1 tank can do well with the right tank. There are some that just like need more than one person. Ganesh obviously needs a second frontliner. Odin definitely needs another frontliner. If Odin's your only tank, oh, they're going to get 3 phantoms, and then your ult is going to be your initiation is going to be completely useless the entire game. Your only sort of effect to the team fight is Bird Bomb, and once Bird Bomb's done. Yeah. When you're behind, kill for kill is not worth it. You want to try and get farm. Because if you kill for kill... Well, in some regards it can be. But you should not be trying to get the kill. Because their body is going to be worth more than yours. But you should not be trying to get 1 kill for 1 kill. And above all, objectives are always more important than kills. If you can get a Phoenix, if you can get a tower, as long as they can't get the same out of it, you are always going to be ahead. I think that's about all we need to really say. Can you think of anything else? Nope. So, with that, thank everyone for watching. Leave any comments if there's anything else you need to... Leave any comments if you need us to do else.